How we doing, everybody? Welcome to this edition of From the Stretch. It is January 13th, 2025. Of course, I'm your host, Jason DeCanio, ready to go for another look on episode 18. 3 more current events, and we're ready to see and experience the current events of today. We have 3, and the first one takes us to, let's put up the ticker there. The first one is 1128 AD, of course, not BC, where papal recognition of the Knights Templar, a turning point in the history. Yes, as Pope Honorius II granted papal recognition to the Knights Templar, a medieval military order that would come to symbolize both piety and power during the Crusades. Now, this pivotal moment marked the beginning of the order's meteoric rise to prominence and influence, leaving an indelible mark on history. And then we'll go to 1930, the Mickey Mouse comic strip debut, a milestone in animation history. Yes, the Mickey Mouse comic strip made its debut, marking a pivotal moment in the history of animation and pop culture. Created by Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks, Mickey Mouse had already captured audiences through animated shorts, but the comic strip introduced the beloved character to a broader audience. And we'll look at that continued history on that historical event, 1930. And finally, to wrap it up, we'll look at breaking barriers from 1966 as Robert C. Weaver becomes the first African-American cabinet maker. Yes, 1966 marked a historic moment in American history as Robert C. Weaver was sworn in as the first African-American cabinet member, serving as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President Lyndon B. Johnson. Weaver's appointment symbolized a significant step forward in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and racial integrity and opportunity, I would guess, as we will look further on. Okay, after being out for a week, being sick, I'm glad to be back on the All TV and Sports channel. And let's go ahead and start our first event, which is the papal recognition of the Knights Templar, a turning point in history. We take you now to 1128 AD. Put yourselves in this position. Swap things. There we go. That's where we want. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So Pope Honorius II granted papal recognition to the Knights Templar, which is a medieval military order that would come to symbolize both piety and power during the Crusades. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of the order's meteoric rise to prominence and influence, leaving an indelible mark on history. The Knights Templar was founded in 1119 by Hugh de Paynes and 8 other knights with the mission of protecting Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Initially, the order operated with modest resources, relying on donations and support from local nobles. Their mission was noble, but largely limited in scope until they received papal recognition. The Council of Troyes convened in 1128. They formalized the order's mission, rules, and organization under the church's auspices, and the endorsement by Pope Honorius II transformed the Templars from a small band of knights into an institution with a divine mandate. Papal recognition brought legitimacy and immense privilege to the Knights Templar. As a papally sanctioned order, the Templars were exempt from local laws and taxes and answered only to the Pope himself. Now, these privileges allowed the order to amass wealth and land across Europe and the Holy Land. Their fortified castles and secure routes became critical for the safety of Christian pilgrims and for supporting Crusader states. Over time, the Templars evolved into a powerful financial institution offering banking services that prefigured modern systems. This recognition also fueled their recruitment efforts. Young men from noble families joined the Templars, drawn by the promise of serving both God and a military cause. The order's unique combination of marital prowess and religious devotion made it a symbol of Christian chivalry, and also during the Crusades that had that lasting impact and legacy as well. And the Knights Templars' influence extended far beyond the medieval period, and although the order was disbanded in the early 14th century under controversial circumstances, their contributions to military strategy, architecture, and finance resonate today. Their fortified castles, such as the iconic Crac des Chevaliers in Syria, remain marvels of medieval engineering. And furthermore, their banking practices laid the groundwork for the modern banking system, including the use of checks and letters of credit. The Templar story has also inspired countless works of fiction and conspiracy theories. From novels like The Da Vinci Code to films and video games, the mystique surrounding the Knights Templar continues to captivate popular imagination. Their role as guardians of religious relics and their dramatic downfall have made them enduring symbols of intrigue and mystery. But the papal recognition of the Knights Templar was more than just an administrative decision. It was a turning point that shaped the medieval world. And by legitimizing the Templars, Pope Honorius II ensured that the order would play a crucial role in the Crusades and the protection of Christian interests in the Holy Land. Their rise to power exemplified the intersection of faith, warfare, and politics in medieval Europe. In today's world, the Knights Templar serve as a reminder of how institutions can evolve and leave lasting legacies. Their journeys from a humble group of knights to a dominant force in medieval society demonstrates the transformative power of recognition and support from influential authorities. The events of today, which is January 13th, the year 1128, remain a testament to the enduring impact of pivotal historical moments. Now, let's go to 1930 and the Mickey Mouse comic strip, a milestone, finally debuts in American history. Yes, this comic strip has a lot of history to it, folks. An icon already in the business, Walt Disney knew exactly what he was doing when he drew Mickey Mouse and voiced Mickey Mouse for that reason. The Mickey Mouse comic strip premiered in daily newspapers, bringing the charismatic character into the homes of readers across the United States. Written by Walt Disney and drawn by Ube Iwerks, the early strips showcased Mickey's adventurous spirit and mischievous charm. The comic format allowed for expanded storytelling, providing fans with new and exciting narratives that couldn't be confined to short animations. This debut came at a time when newspapers were the primary source of daily entertainment for many households. The Mickey Mouse strip quickly gained popularity, with its combination of humor, creativity, and heart resonating with readers of all ages. And within a few years, the comic strip was syndicated internationally, making Mickey Mouse a household name worldwide, as you can see. The success of the comic strip was a testament to the universal appeal of Mickey Mouse, and it reinforced Walt Disney's vision of creating characters and stories that transcended boundaries. The comic's popularity not only boosted Disney's burgeoning empire, but also set a precedent for the integration of animation characters into other media forms. The comic strip storytelling format allowed Mickey Mouse to develop as a character. And unlike the animated shorts, which focused on quick gags and action, the comics explored his personality and relationships, especially with other characters like Minnie Mouse, Goofy, and Donald Duck. This deeper characterization helps solidify Mickey's place as an endearing and relatable figure. The Mickey Mouse comic strip's debut was not just a commercial success, it laid the foundation for a multimedia empire. Mickey Mouse became a symbol of optimism and resilience during the Great Depression, offering escapism to millions. And the success of the comics paved the way for other Disney ventures, including feature films, theme parks, and, of course, merchandise. Even today, the influence of the Mickey Mouse comic strip is evident. The comic strip's storytelling techniques have inspired countless artists and writers. Mickey Mouse continues to be an enduring symbol of the Disney brand, representing creativity and imagination. And additionally, reprints of the original strips and new adaptations keep the legacy alive for new generations. The debut of the Mickey Mouse comic strip in 1930 was a landmark event that extended the reach of one of the world's most beloved characters. It showcased the power of storytelling and innovation, ensuring that Mickey Mouse would remain a timeless figure in pop culture. And finally, let's go to 1966, where a young Robert C. Weaver becomes the first African American cabinet member. Yes, Robert C. Weaver was sworn in as the first African American cabinet member, serving as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President Lyndon B. Johnson. Weaver's appointment symbolized a significant step forward in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and racial equality in the United States. This event not only broke barriers, but also highlighted the growing recognition of the importance of representation in government. Before his historic appointment, Robert C. Weaver was already a trailblazer, and born in 1907, Weaver excelled academically, earning degrees from Harvard University, including a doctorate in economics. His expertise in urban development and housing issues made him a prominent figure in addressing the challenges of racial segregation and economic disparity. Weaver's appointment to HUD was groundbreaking, not just because of his race, but also due to the department's pivotal role in addressing urban renewal and housing inequality. At the time, cities across the United States were grappling with issues such as overcrowded housing, poverty, and racial discrimination. Weaver's leadership brought a new perspective and urgency to tackling these issues, emphasizing the need for fair housing policies and equal opportunities for all Americans. During his tenure as HUD secretary, Weaver spearheaded initiatives that laid the groundwork for many modern housing policies. He was instrumental in advancing the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which aimed to eliminate discrimination in the sale, rental, and financing of housing. Weaver also advocated for federal programs that provided affordable housing to low-income families and supported urban development projects designed to revitalize struggling communities. Weaver's work often required navigating resistance from those opposed to integration and government intervention in housing. And despite these challenges, his policies reflected a commitment to ensuring that all Americans, regardless of race or socioeconomic status, had access to safe and affordable housing. His tenure set a precedent for the role of HUD in promoting social equity and community development. Robert C. Weaver's appointment and contributions to housing policy have had a lasting impact on American society. His efforts helped pave the way for future legislation and initiatives aimed at combating systemic racism and economic inequality. Moreover, his appointment as the first African American cabinet member opened doors for greater diversity in government, inspiring generations of leaders from underrepresented communities. And today, Weaver's legacy is reflected in ongoing efforts to address housing disparities and promote inclusive policies. Organizations and policymakers continue to build upon his vision, recognizing that equitable housing is essential to creating thriving, diverse communities. His story also serves as a reminder of the importance of representation and the progress that can be achieved when barriers are broken. Robert C. Weaver's swearing in on the 13th, 1966, was more than a personal achievement. It was a milestone in the broader struggle for civil rights and equality. His leadership at HUD demonstrated the transformative power of representation and the enduring impact of policies aimed at fostering equity and inclusion. And as we reflect on this historic day, we honor his contributions and the path he paved for a more just and equitable society. And there you have it, folks. 3 events on this day, the 13th of January, to cover 11/28, 1930, and 1966. What a timeline. And tomorrow's timeline, who knows? It may even be greater. It might be shorter. But one thing for sure, we'll stretch it out from the stretch. I'm Jason Icanio. Thank you very much for another look at all of the historic events in our current event schedule. And we'll see you tomorrow for more. Till then, keep on learning and never give up your dream. Good night.